Baby, Anthony Edwards said, fuck them monthly payments, give me the total. He basically saying, I'm not finna finance nothing, including them kids. How much is it? You not finna drag me back to court every time you want to increase running up my attorney's fees. How much is all 216 payments? And come to find out, the baby mama is like 38 years old. Anthony is like 23. Girl, you knew exactly what you was doing. But he hit you with that plot twist and was like, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Anthony Edwards has the internet buzzing after he asked for the judge to make him pay his 38-year-old money hungry baby mama all her child support for the next 18 years up front because he didn't want to deal with her or the baby she just pushed out for him. It turns out he offered her over $100K because he didn't want any kids, but she refused and went ahead to have the baby anyway against his will. Child, even the judge was dragging her for filth in court, and now she's getting clowned on social media too. She's pushing 40 and Anthony is just 23. It turns out that this woman is a professional baby mama, and getting young rich men to put a baby in her so she can live off child support is what she does for a living. But Anthony isn't innocent here, y'all, because he already got 2 women pregnant last year. And just like this new one, he asked them to also get rid of it when they told him about it, but said no. And now the woman that he is currently in this mess with is Aisha Howard. And it turns out this woman also has a kid with Lil Baby. Anthony and Aisha met in Georgia somewhere last year. And just like all the women he comes in contact with, he decided to knock her up without protection. When she found out she was pregnant, she told Anthony about it. And his immediate response was that she find the nearest clinic and scrap out that baby. He reportedly even offered her $100K. She turned him down and had the baby anyway. Aisha actually leaked text messages of when she initially told him about the pregnancy, and this man didn't hesitate at all in telling her to scrap it out. She sent him a text that read, I'm pregnant. Wanted to tell you in person, but you gave me no other choice. We probably should have kept it cordial, but we're here now. And he replied, okay, LOL, get the termination, LOL. Then she responded, I don't need hush money. My intentions aren't to blackmail you in any way. I'm being upfront and honest. I'm not getting a termination. It's not an option. I can keep you updated through the process, or I can disappear until the baby is here. It's on you. Either way, I'm done going back and forth because you still think it's a joke. And he replied again with, OMG, bye. Because you bring in a child in the world that's gonna be without a father. I won't be in a child life I don't want, LOL, you are sick. Anthony was being very cold in these messages, and he honestly sounded very childish. Anyway, fast forward to October of last year. Aisha gave birth, and the first thing he did was drag her to court and demand for a DNA test to be done to confirm that the baby was even actually his. And guess what? It was. But this is where things get even crazier, because Anthony stood up there in that court and told the judge that he had no problem paying the child support, but he doesn't want to have any custody or visitation rights at all. In fact, he specifically told the judge to take away his custody and visitation rights and give it all to Aisha since she wants to be a single mom so bad. And the judge did just that. I mean, he already told Aisha this in those text messages, and he clearly wasn't playing because he brought it up again in court. He meant what he said the first time, and he wasn't letting up. Anthony and his lawyers also claimed that Aisha was trying to cheat the system by having the baby in California instead of Georgia, which is where she spent most of her time pregnant. They said she only moved to Cali within the last few weeks of her pregnancy so she can have a higher child support payment since Cali has better child support laws. Aisha denied this and claimed that her moving to California had nothing to do with the child support payments and that she actually does plan on moving back to Georgia. The first judge actually agreed with Anthony and demanded for the case to be sent back to Georgia since that's where she's really from. Not only that, but he also requested for the judge to allow him to make the full payment for the next 18 years of the child's life up front so that he won't have to see Aisha ever again or deal with the baby. He was supposed to pay her $5,000 every month, but he won't be doing those monthly payments because he paid it all at once. And get this man told her after making the payment, don't ask me for a thing for the next 18 years.
Anthony Edwards really said, look here, let's get down to the nitty gritty of why we here. How much is it gonna cost me to pay my 18 years of child support up front? That is one of the most unhinged things I've ever heard of. Who would think of some shit like that? He dead wrong. He knew laying down with this lady and not pulling out could create a baby. 1 + 1 = 3. We learned that in grade school. We learned to grade school. Now, she also knew the situation she was putting her baby in. That man told her he didn't want that baby. Nothing to do with it. The baby the only one innocent at this point. The baby the only one innocent.
Mind you, inflation is going to hit at some point, and that money will devalue. Not only that, but Aisha is probably going to blow through it before the child turns 18. People flooded her social media pages with insults, and they even called her a clout-chasing, money-hungry fraud. And in response, she posted screenshots of Anthony trying to get her to see him all the way in 2022, but she kept ignoring him. And she also added this caption to her post that said, "I don't normally out my DMs, but listen, please stop the trapped and the one-night stand narrative. This man started pursuing me back in 2022 and literally did not stop pursuing me until he got me. And Aubrey, he did all the choosing." And for those of y'all wondering who Aubrey is, that's the baby she had with Anthony. Now, the reason why some people were dragging Anthony for this is because this isn't his first time being in a situation like this, but always still finds a way to end up right in it again. Prior to this mess with Aisha, he was and actually still is in an active court case over the same issue he has with Aisha with his other baby mama, Allie D. He actually just filed a paternity lawsuit against Allie, claiming that Allie and their son currently live in New York, but he only messed with her while she was staying in Georgia. And child, what is in the Georgia water? Because this man loves him a middle-aged Georgia woman. Yep, you heard that right. Allie is actually 36, y'all. Literally almost the same age as Aisha. Anthony said Allie only moved to New York for a higher child support settlement, and just like Aisha, this case is still ongoing, so we don't know the final outcome yet, but Allie posted messages of Anthony flirting with her in the DMs, as well as photos of him in her house after he blew her back out. I've been harassed and talked about so poorly over a person who I legit don't even speak about nor care to. Mind y'all, I ain't under no NDA none. I just chose to raise my child and go about my damn life. I don't know why y'all let a weak lawyer spin narratives into this. It's sad at this point. Oh, and let me unblock my baby daddy so I can tag that mofo too. Now, even before he knocked up Aisha and Allie, he got his baby mama, Deja, pregnant, and Deja is actually his first baby mama. He had a kid with her before he had one with his longtime girlfriend, Shannon Jackson. It turns out he ended up impregnating Deja and Shannon around the same time, so they both gave birth just 1 month apart, with the first baby being Deja's. Now, this is what's interesting because unlike his situation with Aisha and Allie, Anthony is actively involved in Deja's baby's life, and he even fought to be given joint custody. Isn't that crazy? He must really hate Aisha and Allie, especially Aisha, because he went out of his way to ask the judge not to give him custody, but when it comes to Deja's baby, he's doing the exact opposite. Deja actually opposed this, and she told the judge that she wants primary custody. However, Anthony could have visitation rights. At the time of this case, he was temporarily paying her $5,000, but he wanted the judge to reduce it to $3.2K. He and Deja ended up reaching a settlement, but the final amount was never disclosed. Now, when it comes to his girlfriend, Shannon, she doesn't mind him getting these other women pregnant, as long as she's still the first lady in his baby mama league.
I'm one of God's strongest soldiers. Put me on the front line. Big girl said I would unbaby daddy him. If I gotta unbaby daddy him, I gotta unbaby daddy the first one. Damn. I say this. Y'all just finding out. Or y'all just, like, all this stuff that further comments up, you were saying that I was hurting on the inside or whatever the case. And I'm just, you gotta pick a side. You definitely look early 30s. Listen, y'all be trying to make them feel bad about basketball wives. I thought, oh, I'm not a wife. I gotta make sure my man don't pull up before y'all, he see me on live, because he gonna be like, why you on live telling them people your business? But I don't mind sharing certain things with y'all. I don't have a Rolls Royce. Let's see y'all bank. Okay, matter of fact, you send me a screenshot of your bank account with your name on your ID, and I'm gonna send you a screenshot of my bank account, my ID, and my name on it. And then,
as usual, people have their own thoughts, like this person who said, when a woman doesn't want to be a mother, it's okay, but if it's a man who decides not to be a father, it becomes a problem. Another person said, I respect it. He said he will meet his financial obligations, but will not be forced to co-parent. If anyone is mad about this, it's because you think she has a right to force his hand and she doesn't. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Anthony paying all of that money up front? And do y'all agree that Aisha was trying to trap him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.